Bringing the world to Michigan every morning. Here's Michael Patrick Shields.
Minutes before the hour, Michael Patrick Shields, as we're getting closer and closer to our St. Patrick's Day broadcast, live from Doonbeg Golf Club in County Clare, Ireland, courtesy of, when you say County Clare, courtesy of, that's a tongue twister. County Clare, courtesy of Tullymore Resorts in Michigan, heaven in the palm of Michigan, and we'll be going there via deltavacations.com and landing in Shannon and taking a little trip over there to the Cliffs of Moher. One of the more interesting spots in all of Ireland. Cliffs, can you imagine? 600 feet high, looming over the Atlantic Ocean, straight down. And they run for about 5 miles or so along the coast there. It's a stunning view that I'm going to guess that Dr. Michael Hogan has seen before. After all, he's one of Irish America magazine's top worldwide 100 Irishmen. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Michael Patrick. How are you?
Good. Have you been over to the Cliffs of Moher before?
Oh, yes, I have.
Yeah,
I love the old country. I've been back several times with my daughter. As a matter of fact, my daughter Melissa worked with Bill Clinton on the Irish Peace Treaty.
No kidding. Well, that is absolutely one of the most significant developments in the modern Irish history, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. An end to a long, troublesome history, mostly caused by British colonialism, unfortunately.
Yeah, and if you've ever been to Ballybunion in County Kerry there, they have a statue of Bill Clinton.
Well, our family is from Cahersiveen, County Kerry.
Yeah.
My grandfather was in the Revolution in 1916 in the Rising.
Wow, and that Cahersiveen is on the way to Waterville.
Exactly. There's a wonderful museum there in Waterville as well.
Yeah, and then Waterville, if I'm not mistaken, is the spot where Lucky Lindbergh flew right over Ireland. It was his first time he saw land since he left the United States when he went over the ocean.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of history there too, and also the first transatlantic radio cable comes in up there near Connemara, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I didn't know that, Michael.
Yeah, it's gorgeous stuff. You got to get lucky though when you go to the Cliffs of Moher, because if it's cloudy.
I just heard your announcement. That's an exciting trip. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of people want to go there.
Oh yeah, we're going to have a great time. And then my ambition really is for people, because when I run into them, they all say, "Wow, I really want to go to Ireland someday." And I say, "What are you waiting for?" It's about a 5-hour flight from Kennedy Airport, maybe 6, but you're there in no time, overnight, and it's like you're going back in time, isn't it?
Exactly, it really is. Yeah. It really is. It's an easy flight, and it's a very pleasant flight.
You are an author, consultant to the U.S. Department of State's Office of Overseas Schools in Latin America, and what I read in the magazine about you is that there was actually an Irish battalion in Mexico. How did they find their way there?
Yes, very, very famous. You might recall the famine, of course, in the 1840s, and over 1 million Irish from 1840 to 1850 came to North America. When some of them discovered that the United States was poised to invade Mexico, some of them actually joined the Mexican army and formed a battalion called the Battalion of St. Patrick. They believed at the time that they were fighting, for their religion, for the Roman Catholic religion, and to prevent what they saw as an Anglo-Saxon country from invading a Catholic country. The Irish soldiers of the San Patricio Battalion were decorated and are considered heroes in Mexico. And actually, I have 2 books on them. One is The Irish Soldiers of Mexico, which is a history, and it's now on Kindle. And the other is Molly Malone and the San Patricios, which is, kind of a novelized version. Interestingly enough, there's been a movie made about it, starring Tom Berenger, called One Man's Hero. The title comes from One Man's Hero is Another Man's Traitor. And the Chieftains, which is a really wonderful Irish group, Roy Cooder and the Chieftains have made a CD called The San Patricios. A young fellow named Sean Cassidy, who's got a relative who was a San Patricio. He's a descendant of the San Patricios. Sean Cassidy and Oscar Bueno have established a tequila company called the San Patricio. So, very, very popular. in Mexican history.
St. Patrick's Tequila, huh?
Yeah, St. Patrick's Tequila.
Absolutely.
There's a long history of the Irish in Mexico. Anthony Quinn, you might remember the actor.
Sure, yeah.
Is Irish-Mexican. William Lamport, the actor, also Irish-Mexican. Alvaro Obregón, who was president of Mexico in 1920 and 1924, is an O'Brien, also Mexico. Hugh O'Connor, the first colonial governor and founder of Tucson, Arizona, when that was part of New Spain, also Irish.
Well, I'll tell you what, in your honor, on Cinco de Mayo, I'll have a corned beef burrito.
There you go. Well, since you mentioned Cinco de Mayo, there's a fellow by the name of Jim Sloan, who's the head of the Irish Friendship Club here in Chicago, and every year he does a joint Irish-Mexican celebration because Chicago has 800,000 Mexican Americans and over 1 million Irish Americans in the metropolitan area. So they get together and they have this wonderful celebration where the Mexican bands play Irish music and the Irish bands play Mexican music, and they play together. And it's quite a celebration.
Sounds like fun. Congratulations on being named to the Irish America World List. Dr. Michael Hogan, the author and the consultant at the U.S. State Department's Office of Overseas Schools in Latin America. Happy St. Patrick's Day in advance.
Papa